This week, well, we'll move on, and many more small businesses are failing to have a backup plan, it seems. What's worse, they don't have a legal procedure when it comes to working things out. Well, the lawyer Jeremy Streten saying if you don't take care of your legal obligations, you do run the risk of exposing yourself to stress, loss of business, and indeed potentially even bankruptcy. Jeremy is Legal Practice Director at Streten Masons Lawyers, author of the Business Legal Life Cycle. He's in our Brisbane studio this week. Warm welcome to you. What gave you this awareness of what sounds like a ticking time bomb of perhaps ignorance?
Thanks, Carson. I think the ignorance has really come from my nearly 15 years of experience as a lawyer, as well as being a startup business owner myself, and seeing people who failed time and time again for the same reasons, that not putting the right policies and procedures in place for all sorts of things in their business has really caused them massive problems that have caused businesses to fail. And I really want to try and help stop that from happening by giving people more of an education as to what they need to do from a legal perspective in their business.
How many, if you were to draw up a list, how many of these themes are coming back time and again in the marketplace?
Oh, I would say probably 60 to 70% of the time when new businesses start, they come back with the same problems time and time again.
Yeah, so how many of those, how many problems are we actually talking about? A dozen, 6 key problems? 6 things?
The problems?
Yeah.
Probably a dozen to 20 problems that come back time and time again.
Mm-hmm. Who is really fundamentally, at some sort of a responsibility and has not delivered on this? I mean, is this something that should have been flagged by whom? By the ATO? Are these taxation issues? What are they?
There are issues in just the general operation of the business, and I think it's the business owners themselves that need to take some responsibility, because they don't want to go and get advice from a lawyer or an accountant or a competent advisor to find these things out. So I think the buck stops with the business owner and probably their advisors for not also helping them out to guide them where they needed to go.
And who is challenging them, though, and calling them out for not being on the case? Is this kind of, we'll chance our arm, we may not be in the round of, screened and checked in our businesses this year, so, put your head down and carry on as normal?
Well, yeah, it's everyone. It's everyone from their clients, their customers, their employees, the ATO. They're all being called out by those people by not having the right processes in place.
Talk to me about then, as you said at the start, your decision to effectively leave the mainstream legal practice that you were part of to make this standalone business. What were the tools you went armed with to do that?
Well, the tools I went armed with was my experience of acting for many people over many years, and also a business-minded experience, because I wanted to solve those problems and empower business owners to understand the legal aspects of their business and try and get rid of that divide between lawyer and client that it seems so unnecessary in this day and age. And
in terms of the reception you're getting, generally speaking, what's it coming down to? Is there an age divide on acceptance? Is there? I mean, what's the general attitude like there out on Main Street?
The general attitude is mainly younger business people. I have everyone from business people who've been lawyers or accountants for many years say that they love the concept and they love the advice that they're getting. Everyone down to tradies who are in their 20s who read the book. It's in plain English. I fight mine a lawyer and get that across as plain English as I can, and they love it because it explains why they're doing things in their business from a legal perspective and what they need to do next. And
the concern often is that just as soon as you go down one path, there'll be an announcement maybe on budget night, typically in May, and the rules and the goalposts will be shifted. So when you put something into print like this, how kind of liable to needing an update is it year on year?
Well, I think year on year it's going to be updated quite regularly. The laws do change. I've tried to keep the book as general as I can so that it doesn't need to be updated too regularly. And one of the themes I do have in the book is that if you're not sure about something, consult with the experts, consult with the websites. Things like Fair Work Australia, they're great resources for people to actually find out what they need to know in 99 times out of 100.
Are there, though, advocates rather than simply a body like that, which seems awfully distant? Are there actually people on these websites that you can connect with rather than just, you know, a faceless organisation often?
Well, usually it's just a faceless organisation, and I'm talking about the general advice that they give on their website.
Okay.
It can often help really identify the key issues that people have.
Because again, it's coming back to knowing that these resources are even out there. It seems extraordinary that they're there, but no one's. I mean, clearly, if they were doing their job, we wouldn't be having the problems you've just articulated.
Oh, absolutely. If more people knew that the resources were there from, say, Fair Work, I think we'd have a lot less unfair dismissal cases because people would be aware of what they need to do and the checklists that are available. Absolutely.
The retort often is, you know, this is in the too hard basket. We have got enough to worry about day-to-day business operations. What's the potential cost to your business, you know, from falling foul? I mean, if you scoop up all of those 6 to a dozen areas that have been ignored, I mean, is it automatically the case that it could mean bankruptcy?
Yeah, absolutely. It depends on the severity of the issue that you have, and we don't have time today to go through each of those issues. But if you allow your debtors to get too high and you can't pay your bills just by not having, say, a debt collection process in place, and then you don't have the cash to pay your bills, and no one's really thought about making sure that you get paid, which seems so fundamental in business, but it happens all the time. Yes, you could end up in bankruptcy and losing everything.
You're taking this nationwide, Jeremy, as far as, you know, beyond the book?
Yeah, absolutely. The book is written for Australia-wide law. Absolutely.
We wish you well, Director, Legal Practice Director at Streten, now Masons, lawyers, and author of the Business Legal Life Cycle there for you in our Brisbane studio. We'll take a really short break. It's a spotlight on our serial entrepreneur on the